Kenzie, how do I do this?
Exactly.
These kids, they grew up with it. They're not scared of it. They're
No, from the get-go. It's not intimidating.
Okay, I'm going to call the meeting to order of the 4A Economic Development Corporation Board of Directors meeting Wednesday, September the 11th. Excuse me, let me get my time. It is 5:06 p.m. We do have a quorum. Member Bokniak is not present, but Cash and Weeks and Shatter is here. Okay, I'm going to move on to the public forum, and seeing no one here to speak in the public forum, I'm going to open and close it and move on to C, discussion action items. Item number 1, discuss and act upon the regular meeting minutes from February 21st, 2018.
And yes, that is accurate, 2018.
No wonder I couldn't remember that.
We went back and tried to pull all the minutes together that are not uploaded or anything, and that was one that was approved, but or was not approved for whatever reason. I went back through 6 months after that, and they just never were approved. It was on one meeting, and it got tabled, and then never came back to fruition.
I remember this like it was yesterday.
Good for you.
It could have been 2019. If we didn't say anything, I would have just said, yeah, it looks about right.
All right, y'all.
All right, I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes from February 21st, 2018 as presented.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion from Mr. Cash and a second from Mr. Weeks to approve the regular meeting minutes from February 21, 2018. All in favor, please raise your right hand. Passes unanimously. Move on to item number 2. Discuss and consider and act upon regular meeting minutes from August 14th, 2019.
The only change I want to note is that I was there actually, apparently. At the first it says I wasn't there.
Did you come in and then
No, I mean, I don't think so.
wasn't?
It quoted me throughout the thing.
Yeah,
so
it was the July one that he
yeah,
missed.
July was a mess.
Yeah. That's right. I remember that because you were in Colorado in July.
Yes.
Okay, so then I guess you could make a motion with that amendment.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes of the August 14, 2019 meeting with the correction as noted.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion from Mr. Cash, a second from Mr. Weeks to approve the August 14th, 2019 meeting minutes as amended. All in favor, please raise your right hand. That also passes unanimously. Okay, we'll move on to item number 3. Discuss, consider, and act upon the August 2019 financial reporting and related items. Ms. Phyllis.
Good evening. August the 31st, 2019, we had $553.39, bringing our year-to-date revenues to $581,003.93. We had month-to-date expense. Our sales tax recorded year-to-date is $510,419.09. That reflects 2 months of actual. Interest earned year-to-date is $15,818.07, and our special assessment receipts year-to-date total $54,766.77. The expenses included the routine payroll. We had some legal fees, paid out an incentive to the Vince Hagen Company. We had some. We also had a payment to ASCS for the QT grand opening. Some were purchased for the board members and miscellaneous office supplies. That brought us, as of 8/31/2019, a net revenue of $346,330, bringing your total fund balance to $2,676,000, of which $93,750 is still assigned for the Hope Development, and that would bring your unassigned fund balance to $2,583,000. I also included, I think Tracy already handed it out, just an updated list of your the incentives that you have committed to, where you're at as of August the 31st. And then on a side note, wanted to let you all know budget for 2019-20 was approved and adopted at the council meeting.
Great. And again, thank you for giving us a summary. It's very nice. Forget which one of you asked for it, but it's nice to have.
Mhm. Your turn, Fred.
It helps to keep track.
So the revenues for August now represent the full,
That is a cumulative total for the year. That's correct.
the
So
month
you-
to date of 67,000 is
Here.
our half of 1% again, as opposed to the quarter of 1% that we had been.
Right, now,
Okay.
now that you only started picking that back up, I think 2 months ago. So you're only actually seeing last month and then the month of August receiving that whole half cent. But you still have another few months to collect as well. Part of that is an accrual.
I don't see any.
Okay, I'll let you make a
I'll make the
motion.
motion to approve the, August 31st, 2019 monthly financial report as presented.
Second.
I have a motion for Mr. Weeks and a second for Mr. Cash to approve the August 31st, 2019 financial as reported. All in favor, please raise your right hand. Passes unanimously. Thank you, Phyllis.
Thank you.
That sign makes it look like we're way out in the middle of
You
nowhere.
know, I wondered where that picture, I just found it on the computer. And the other day when I was driving down Highway 80, I actually saw it. But it's not open like that. You know, behind it, it looks like there's been some development or something since that picture was taken.
Oh, okay.
And just because we usually celebrate birthdays, this month is Phyllis's birthday.
Yay!
Oh, happy birthday, Phyllis.
Thank you.
Happy birthday,
Thank you
Phyllis.
for all you do.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess that sign's out east, right? Is it east
It
of
is
town?
because I was headed.
'Cause I've seen that
I
before.
was headed into town, coming from like the Forney area when
Yep.
I saw it.
Yeah, because I've,
Yes.
yeah, I've seen that.
Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you, Phyllis.
Okay, so we'll move on to item number 4. Discuss, consider, and act upon a new Sunnyvale Economic Development website. Ms. Tracy.
So I'm not expecting any action really tonight. Just wanted to kind of bring everybody up to speed on where we are with the website. We, y'all remember we lost our website there for a while and it lost about 2.5 years worth of data that was updated on it. So we've been trying to update it again. However, with that being said, it's been difficult to update things in some areas because it's the HTML that you have to utilize to be able to do things instead of WordPress. So we're having to still call upon the company doing our website currently to make the changes. So we're having to pay them to make changes as opposed to having a website that we could fully update ourselves. So looking at what it would take to either utilize what we have currently and just have kind of a more updated look to it, or what it would cost to completely redo the website. Because I know some EDC websites, they spend $30,000 to $50,000 on these websites. And so I was real hesitant on doing that because I know that it just got done a few years ago.
I think we paid $20K, I think.
But it's not as user friendly as it could or should be. And so, with having to go through and update it, now would be the perfect time to just either figure out whether we just need to keep what we have or just redo it. So if we were to just keep the content, the tabs, everything the same and just change the look of it, we have one quote for $8,500. If we wanted to go with that same company but redo the website, then it's $13,500. That is still using HTML. If we went with, and that's for Marketing Alliance.
Yeah, don't they specialize in ED websites?
Yes.
I think that's why we use them. So they're the HTML, which means we can't do updates? Is that what that means?
It's a lot harder to figure out how to do it without knowing the codes and how to put them in. Atlas, to completely do a website, which they also specialize in EDC websites, is $12,500, and they do WordPress. So we can update and make just about any change we wanted to make on the back end.
Why is it only 13? Is that because they're gonna use what we already existing have?
completely redo it.
That's all it is, huh?
So assuming that an election's gonna happen in November to decide the fate of the Economic Development Board, do we even wanna make this decision before that? In other words, I mean, I guess we're always gonna have economic development, but
Well, that's where I'm still moving forward as if that's not happened, because I can't say that that will happen, I can't say that it won't happen. So, I still have to proceed where we are today. So if, I mean, obviously it being above 10,000, I still need to get town council approval to do it. And if they at that point decide, you know, that they want to take a step back, then that would be,
If you remember when we had Mike Barnes with the Mike Barnes group come in and talk to us, what was that called?
like ED 101.
Yeah, ED 101. Did you all come to that?
Mhm.
Do you remember how he talked about how important your website is? That's how people now find you, is they go to your website first before they call you or anything. And with our website not being updated, I think it's urgent that we get that fixed as soon as we can. But that's just my opinion.
I don't
Is
disagree.
the website 4A specific, or is it all?
Just ignore it.
it's encompassing. There is one section that has, you know, what 4A is, there is what 4B does, but in general, overall, it's just economic development with a bunch of data and material on it.
Has it been discussed with 4B?
We did last night. They want me to check out a couple of options like GoDaddy or Foursquare Corners, something like that. I guess it's the Square Corners, or I can't remember exactly what it's called, but that, I guess you create it yourself. Like they give you a template and you create it. My only concern, and I told them I would look into it, is with our GIS portion that's supposed to be integrated into the website. I don't know that their websites will be able to host this third-party placement, which is essentially where all of the available sites, buildings will be added onto our website.
What is GIS?
So I don't remember what it stands for, but it's Zoom Prospector is the exact company name, but they do all of our available sites. So when you, like Mesquite EDCs, you can go to a location and you can pick, I want this many square footage or this many acres, and it pulls up all of the available sites that you currently have in your community. We will have that, and I have that on the background. I just haven't been able to integrate it into the website.
So it matches needs with listed properties.
Correct. Well, I mean, you could go on and search for whatever you want, and as long as we populate that. So I have a running tab of available properties that are in Sunnyvale, and people send me, brokers send me their flyers. And so as I get the flyers, I just populate that.
I think that's Geographical Information System.
That's the word.
It's kind of like Google Earth. It's kind of like a Google
I've heard
Earth.
I've
Big
heard
brain.
GIS, yeah.
But it's a third-party site that you access through some portal, right?
Yes. And that's where I don't know if the other two websites can do something like that. The other idea was to add a page to the town website, which we have a link, but it links to our website. But a lot of the data that we would need, we would have to change up their website as well to put all of our information and data onto that. And they just redid their website at the end of last year, beginning of this year. And at that point in time, it wasn't conducive. We had our own website. We weren't going to add a bunch of different pages to their website. It's not uncommon for the EDCs to have separate, just because their clientele is a little different than what the city's looking at. So when brokers, developers, site consultants, companies, if they're looking in your area, then they're looking at your website, and if you don't have the data, they may click away. So I don't feel they wanted to see, 4B wanted to see the Google Analytics, and I don't know if our site currently has that, but I would believe that our website is visited that often, and if it is, it's probably not clicked on very much. I'm fixing to start driving people to our website. We're fixing to have a ad in DCO magazine, and it's pushing the sunnyvaleedc.org website. So I think that one way or the other, I've got to pay to get this site current, or just move forward with the idea that we could have this completed in the next 3 to 4 months. So I just kind of have this on to kind of talk about it, see what y'all's thoughts were. There are some additional hosting fees that come in conjunction with this. The one for Atlas, they're charging $17.50 a year, and that includes hosting, website security, support and training. There was some comments that that type of hosting fee, even $500, is ridiculous, and just because they can, they charge it.
You gotta pay that to anybody. You gotta pay something.
Some of them
host
they're
you.
saying like you can pay $50 for. So
Probably get what you pay for.
yeah. So I'm just kind of, now's the time to take a look at it because of where we are and where we need the website to be, and so that's why I'm bringing it. Just kind of get some thoughts and ideas and what y'all.
I would be for us having our own website because, well, this goes back to when Pam Mundo was here. We were on the town's website, and I think she's the one that started when she was consulting. So that's been quite a while ago, several EDC before you, getting our own website. So I think that's important. And I think it's really, really important that it's up to date. So I don't know how you do that.
Well, and so Brittany's added a lot of news stuff to get that news updated, but we're fixing to have to pay the website company because we can't, you have to click on the news tab to see the updated news and press releases. It doesn't populate that onto the homepage. So the homepage is still showing old, like years old news,
Wow.
even though under the news tab
It
is
does show
current.
2019, yeah. Huh. So is that under who we are or the home, or what's that under where it's? So where you shine. Oh, I see. So when you go down, a lot of this stuff is 2016, 2017. Yeah, the luncheon from 2016. 190 from 2017. So I see where you're saying. So on the home page, none of that's updating.
No, and we can't figure out how to,
Even though you've changed it, I can see where you changed it under news
Yeah.
media. Okay.
so before I started dishing out a lot of money to get that changed.
So what would they charge to make those changes?
It's $140 an hour.
We don't know. I won't know.
And even then,
Even then in the future, you couldn't update it, right?
yeah, we're always gonna have that problem. We definitely need something we can
Yeah.
update ourselves.
Yeah.
I agree with that. What's the timing of this? When are you guys gonna start running the website up the flagpole? For real?
Well, I guess I had hoped that a decision would have been made last night. Figure out something and move forward. I could put it on the September 23rd town council meeting and hope to turn around and get it started.
Where does 4B come into this decision? Because all I saw was the economic development website on the link you gave us here.
That's,
Well, it's 4A, 4B economic
Yeah.
development.
Okay.
so it's really the website for both, and they tabled it last night.
So you need approval from both boards. Okay.
Yeah.
I think there has to be some sort of consensus, because if at the end of the day that board chooses not to, and town council doesn't want it to come from 4A, and that's where I'm still rocky waters. I'm not sure how that falls, but so that's why I'm saying I'm not asking for any anything tonight, really just want to get thoughts and opinions.
So do you want us to let you know that we would be okay with spending money? And then you would relay that, it would be on there again next month?
I can, I was really, because the funds will come out of promotional monies, so I was hoping that I could just take it by the end of this year, and that way it's in this fiscal year, was my rule.
Be by October 1st.
I'm all for updating our informational-driven sources because I don't think you cheat that. I mean, one new business as a result of having an updated website will by far pay for the expense of updating it. So I'm all for that if that gives you any direction. I don't think we ought to cheap it with GoDaddy or whoever.
Yeah, I agree.
All we need is one new business,
Yeah.
and if they find it through the website, then it's an easy spend.
Or that we lose some because they don't like our website, right? So, a good way to put it.
And the difference between the two bids that you received are the initial, the product that we have now does not allow us to update, upgrade, or anything.
That's part of it. The other difference is, one, with Atlas, they'll allow 6 templates or 6 navigation bars, and the other one will only allow 5. Then there's a limit of 25 pages on Marketing Alliance, and with Atlas you would have unlimited interior pages. And they say typically they do about 30 pages, so I mean, could be more. And then obviously using the WordPress are kind of my ideas with going, and they're $1,000 cheaper essentially if you're just looking at the production of it for Atlas
And
versus
do either
Marketing.
of them allow the link to the available properties? They both do?
And you'll see that if you look at some of the websites that I had sent, they also have the available properties stuff in their websites.
Certainly sounds like a wise investment to me.
So we've basically got 2 bids here, right? Atlas and Marketing Alliance.
And Marketing Alliance is who we are currently with. So my proposal would be to go with Atlas. and
Someone
change.
different. It seems like we've had some issues with Marketing Alliance, because it seems like we paid them to do a website and we gave them some more money, it seems like a year or so later, and
I think that was somebody else. We got rid
No,
of
we
them.
lost the website.
Yeah, and then they
because
lost the
supposedly
website.
they're hosting it, but
Well,
it went away and they couldn't pull it back up. So everything that had been done to the website disappeared.
that was with Marketing Alliance?
yeah,
Oh.
we've had some issues with them.
All the more reason to think about,
Some of them-
Atlas.
Yep, for sure.
I know they did Lufkin among others, so whatever.
All right, does that help? Get some direction?
That's where I'm going.
Yeah, I can't imagine doing a cheap one like GoDaddy or something like that.
Well, I'm not surprised at 4B.
Okay,
No comment.
we'll move on. We'll move on to item number 5. Discuss and consider an update on South Ashton Road. We already.
So we have got an update. We've let B&B know that they have been awarded and they're looking to start mid-October. We have let Morley and Southern know, and they're excited about it. They're glad the project is happening, are very grateful, and wanted to express their gratitude. And it shouldn't take long. There should be a downtime of maybe a week or 2 for the whole project to be completed. We've already worked out details on where they can park and how they can enter and not enter their building, so.
So has that been relayed to the industrial park at all? Or I guess those people around there that it's gonna be coming soon?
It has to the two businesses that it affects. It
Okay.
doesn't affect anybody else.
David Jackson, does he know about it?
Mhm.
Or- Okay, good. Because I'm sure they're pleased that it's moving along, I guess is where I was going with that.
Yes, they are.
Okay. So we ready to move on to item 6? There's
Yes,
nothing,
ma'am.
no action on that? Okay.
No.
6, discuss and consider an update on the southeast corner of Collins and US Highway 80.
And that's what I was trying to, I text Dorothy, I was reading text. So they are hoping that Chick-fil-A closes soon. Panda Express has closed on the land, and if you notice, their sign is up now saying that they're coming soon. So they will hopefully be open in the next 3 to 4 months. They are starting on Monday, hopefully, for the piers for the screening wall. The screening wall should have been put in a long time ago, so we've been working with them on that. And MedCorp is ready to get their COs to start opening the individual offices. But they cannot get those until the screening wall has been built out. So they're hoping that they will start. So the Stone Canyon, I give it to them. They've been very patient through that process because some of those people don't have a fence at all. And couldn't ask for a better partner in that. Other than that, there's nothing really else that they have as far as updates or any information.
Yeah, that building's really coming along. And it's kind of funny because it's really at the end of this property.
It is right now. It won't be when it's all done.
Yeah, because it doesn't really look like it's part of the development to me, just because it seems like it's so far down 80.
What's encouraging about Chick-fil-A? Because before, I think people ask all the time, and I don't even know what to say anymore.
Now, don't confuse closing with the land on
Oh,
when they will
I'm
open.
not.
Because, I mean, it's still right now, the anticipation is still not till 2021, but.
And there's no new updates as far as just Panda Express and Chick-fil-A, nothing else. Of course, in the medical building, we don't know any news on anything else coming.
Was that
Now, the
leave
medical
3 more
building is-
pad sites?
I'm sorry.
Does that leave 3 more pad sites between Chick-fil-A and Panda Express and the medical office? Weren't there 6 altogether?
I think
there
there was 7.
ended up being 7. 'Cause
7?
they split
Okay,
one,
so there are 4 more.
4 more. And I know that there was talk about a retail strip going in there, but it hasn't come to fruition. Our medical office building is completely built, I mean, it's full, so they're gonna open completely full.
Somebody told me they're, speaking of the southeast corner, somebody's buying the pad behind what used to be Saws, and they're gonna build something in there.
So we've had a DRC meeting, and there is somebody that is looking at buying that pad site and the pad site right across from Allstate and developing both of those. And they've already out, just hasn't, the plans or anything have not come before the town yet.
Well, let
Lots
me know.
going on.
Let me know. I'd like to know.
Cool.
I got a dumpster I want moved.
Okay, well, thank you for that. So we'll move on to item number 7, discuss and consider an update on Sunnyvale Center.
So QT has commented and said it was the best first month opening that they can recall in a very long time. They actually ran out of gas, which they say that they guarantee the gas, but there was so many people coming that it just blew them out of the water, I guess.
Every time I went to get gas, I had to wait in line.
Well, now all you see walking around town hall are QT cups. There is a big anchor tenant that we are talking to right now. They are hopeful that they'll have an LOI from this company by the end of the month, and then the project would start moving very quickly, but it'll just depend on that LOI, and then it'll start coming before the town.
They, hopeful being Rick Sheldon and Mike Anderson.
Mhm.
Does it have anything to do with entertainment?
Possibly.
Okay.
You know it more as Project Complex.
Okay.
Other than that, there is, kind of weird because they've still been like a one business operation, so they focus on one and then they'll work on something else. So they've got a couple other things on the hook, but they've kind of put them on hold until they finish this other big project. But I mean, there's talk that possibly Canes. There's talk that there's a possible pad site for a retail strip with retail connection. They're still trying to get Whataburger to come back. So.
It's
And there's
working for
talk
Terrell.
about-
Something's working for Terrell. Besides Bucky's.
It's one of those things that the draw.
Of course, Bucky's, yeah, Bucky's set the tone.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I mean, if this thing came to fruition, it would be a game changer.
So they're at least in negotiations with, good,
Good.
okay.
It's good news.
Keep us updated. That's
Yeah,
exciting.
It is, for sure.
It's really exciting.
Great. Okay, we'll move on to item number 8, and I think, Mr. Cash, you asked for this one, so it's good, I'm glad to see it on here. Discuss and consider an update on the northwest corner of Collins and US Highway 80.
So the brokers had been talking to Brookshire's grocery store, but unfortunately they passed on the site and stated it was because of the lack of residential density and slow growth. I've asked to see a copy of their study, but unfortunately to date they haven't wanted to really share that. So we will continue to see if we can get that in some way, shape, or form. The brokers have had some interest with pad users, and they continue to work that prospect, or those prospects, and then they said that there's a strong interest and demand for Class A multifamily.
For what?
Class A multifamily.
What's Class A?
Your higher dollar apartment complexes.
Sure.
So they're getting some bites on that, and that's something that council may not approve.
What's zoned general, like highway commercial, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
They would have to do a PD, but I mean, as we know, that's just a touchy subject anyway. There is, I guess, with Rick Sheldon and this company, they're also looking at the fact that Uber is fixing to have all those employees down in Deep Ellum, and they just think that Sunnyvale would be prime for a lot of those people that would want to live just right here and take that short drive in. So they've kind of set their eyes on how can we utilize and capitalize on Uber coming in. So we've been kind of trying to figure out what angles we can finagle with that.
So will they continue to look for a grocery store?
Yeah, I mean, they're trying.
We're still gonna get that same not enough rooftops.
I want to talk about some of that property, but it needs to be an executive session, so that's maybe a next month thing.
On the northwest corner. No, I mean, essentially, we can go into executive session and discuss it because it's an actual item,
Northeast.
then we can adjourn into executive session to discuss any item that's on the agenda.
Okay.
You could do that now if you wanted to.
Well, whenever we go, we're gonna go anyway, right?
We don't have to.
I mean, don't we have another item that we're gonna talk about?
No, they did not submit their application, so
Oh.
they've asked to be put on until next month.
It can wait.
Okay.
Sure.
I'll
Yeah.
put it as a future.
I won't forget.
Great. Those are all good updates on our four corners, huh?
Absolutely.
Just keep
Yes.
coming, coming, coming.
You said northeast, people?
Okay. We'll move on to item number 9. Discuss future agenda items and events.
The next town council meeting will be September 23rd. On September 24th, Burton and I will be attending a Texas Parks and Wildlife Department. They've got a new scoring criteria on how they do their grants. so we're gonna attend that workshop to figure out how they score everything. On September 24th, that morning at 8 a.m., the chamber is having a ribbon cutting for Cheyenne Medical Lodge. It's the new nursing home facility that's right at the corner of Long Creek and 352. It's actually in Mesquite.
It is in Mesquite, but they've joined the chamber.
I know it says Sunnyvale on here, but it is in Mesquite.
I like that name. That's pretty cool.
Cheyenne Lodge.
Yeah.
On October 1st, so the town has officially hired a new police chief. His name is Andrew Hawks. He's coming from Jacksonville.
I was wondering where he was coming.
And October 1st is his official first day. That,
So will we keep the Dallas sheriffs while he comes on?
so we're going to be in a transition period.
Okay.
I don't know what all the details are for the transition period, but DSO will stay on for a period of time. And then hopefully our Sunnyvale PD will be up and running by essentially this time next year. That night from 6 to 8 at Town Center Park is National Night Out, so they're kind of doing that as his welcome and come and meet and greet the new police chief. October 3rd through 4th, Sunnyvale, Mesquite, and Eastville College are partnering for a manufacturing day. Eastville College is going to host a panel to kind of talk about workforce pipeline. And there will be, Vince Hagen Company is going to be one of the panelists. And then after that session, that Thursday afternoon, there's going to be 2 tours in Sunnyvale. And then on that Friday, there's going to be 3 business tours in Mesquite. And, so Vince Hagen Company is doing one of the tours, and therefore Mesquite or Sunnyvale ISD high school students or Eastville College students to come take a tour if you're looking at this type of field, or if you're a high school student and don't really want to go to college and you're thinking about a trade, kind of opening their eyes to what they can make and what this entails for advanced manufacturing. So it's kind of just running them through. Right now, we're working on a second tour and hope to have that finalized here shortly. And then October 9th is our next 4A board meeting. And I think the first is on a Tuesday, so that's why it's really early in the month.
I will be out of town September 30th through October the 15th. We're going to Europe finally. It's something I've been wanting to do for a long time.
Awesome.
So I will miss the board meeting and the manufacturing day and National Night Out. I'll be gone for all that stuff.
To October 15th.
Yes. Yeah. And I'm actually the 27th. I'm taking that Friday off too. So it's really 9/27, and I come back to work on the 16th. A little over 2 weeks.
Good for you. I will add the executive session for the northeast corner.
So if you haven't been there yet, I was excited. I got invited to like a kind of a private tasting they had the night before they opened. Their food is really good. They just kept bringing out different things to everybody. And then me and my husband and my sister-in-law and mom, we went to go eat there. They opened on Labor Day, that Thursday. We got there at 6:45 and there was a 45-minute wait, which is great. I think there might be some parking issues, but they've just been packed, it seems to me, since they've opened. So that's good news for them.
I thought, I didn't see anything on Nextdoor, but my wife, I think, said that somebody posted something about that, and that they said that it was pricey for what you get.
I don't think. I actually thought the
Oh, there's
prices were
you.
reasonable.
Yeah.
I haven't seen
did
anything
too.
on Nextdoor, but
Yeah.
she thought she did.
Yeah.
They are closed on Mondays.
Frank, we gotta go up there and have a
Yeah.
beverage.
Yes.
Yeah.
They have a big bar. by the
It's
way.
walking distance, kind of.
Yeah.
Walk on.
Yeah.
Stumbling distance.
They have a big, huge bar and bar area. So
Outside?
no, inside.
Oh, okay.
Too as well.
I
So
saw
when
the
you
outside
when you
deal.
walk in, there's the restaurant and all that, and there's kind of 2 sides, and then the next thing is the bar before you go outside. And there's tables and stuff in the bar too, but they got a huge bar.
Okay.
So,
I mean, their appetizers run anywhere from $8. Pork roast for 16. Shrimp for 19. Lid 5 or 4.
Burgers.
Sides anywhere from $4 to $6. Pizzas 11 or 12. I have sirloin for 19. 26 ribeye 29. I mean, all your steaks obviously are going to be your 24-ounce porterhouse 49, 22-ounce ribeye 49. Burgers, sandwiches 13, 9.
And I don't know if they'll have a different menu at lunch or not. They're just getting all the kinks worked out. They said it'd probably be 2 to 4 weeks before they start opening for lunch.
Yeah, it looks like just 4 to 10 p.m. right now, closed
Oh.
on Mondays.
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
So no lunch yet, okay.
Yeah. But soon, eventually.
Awesome.
Yeah, they just want to get their
That
staff.
sounds pretty regular price-wise, I mean,
Yeah, kind of right in line, I think.
yeah.
I mean,
Especially
I
for
think you
dinner.
compare it to a steakhouse.
Yeah, it's really cool inside. So when you look up a lot of the wood that they used was wood that was on the original store. There's a couple of like little stools that were originally in Kearney's store when you walk in, and then the hostess stand is like an egg incubator warmer thing, and it's kind of cool. And then I guess all the wood in the bar they used existing wood from, so they tried to use some of the existing materials. They were telling us all that when they had that thing the night before they opened. So
I toured it a couple days before it opened.
did I forget anything? Pretty cool that they're using all that, you know.
I walked through the kitchen and I was like, how long do you think it'll stay this clean?
No, never.
And there's a window in the restaurant area. When you walk in, there's a restaurant area, and then if you go to the left, there's another one. You can see in the kitchen.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there's like a big window.
Yeah, he was like, it better always stay this clean. He was very stickler.
But you know, every new restaurant has a period of what, adaptation or something. It takes a little time to, you know, estimate when your peak crowds are and get your staff trained and all that. Those were the main complaints on next door, was that, you know, there's a long wait, but there seemed to be plenty of tables available. Maybe they weren't fully staffed.
Yeah,
Maybe they
that
didn't
happens a lot.
anticipate the crowds that
Right.
they had initially. I don't know. It wasn't brutal. I mean, there were some negative comments, but nothing brutal.
Yeah. And that's, you know, I've noticed that in other restaurants too. When there's empty tables, it means they don't have enough staff.
But yeah,
I mean,
but
and
you know, if you
everybody,
gave it away free, it would be too much. for
and every
somebody.
time you read reviews about anything, you gotta temper that with the fact that a lot of people are not even motivated to put a review in unless they're mad.
Yeah.
I'm that way. I'm guilty, but for the most part, yeah, one or two.
But if you haven't tried it, you need to.
But I've put out some good ones too. So
Yeah, great addition to the town, I think.
good. Well, we gotta go there then.
Yeah. Okay.
It's Wednesday. It's open.
Yeah. We're gonna
Let's
be done
adjourn.
soon.
Gary's,
done
Gary's
soon.
husband's out of town.
Anything sounds good.
Okay, so we're done with item number 9. So I am not going to recess into executive session because we don't have that item anymore, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So then I just need to go to adjourning the meeting at 5:52 p.m.
Do we keep all this, or do you want it back?
You're more than welcome to it.
Why not?
If you don't want it, I will take it back.
So you get to run the meeting next month.
Oh boy. It normally means a quick meeting, but
Hey.
I don't know that I can beat 51 minutes.
That'd be great.
You know, I told you that my business partners in my mortgage company